This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below.
Wednesday was wonderful. A kind of Karen Christmas. A terrific twofer. 2 stories related to law, public freakouts, and entitled, often dangerous behavior. And here on Lawful Masses, that's a coincidence I can't avoid. Yesterday, Amy Cooper was charged with filing a false report in a now famous incident with an unrelated man named Christian Cooper in Central Park in New York City. Ms. Cooper had been walking her dog in the park without a leash when Mr. Cooper, an avid bird watcher, approached and asked her to please leash her dog. When she refused, he pulled out dog treats for some reason. Ms. Cooper became upset, claiming to feel under attack, and she called 911. Saying, "I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life." The incident went viral, with Melody Cooper's original tweet hitting 45 million views at the time of this writing. Video of the incident caused Amy Cooper to lose her job and surrender her dog. It's reported that she eventually got the dog back after an evaluation from a veterinarian and law enforcement. Under New York law, a person is guilty of falsely reporting an incident in the 3rd degree when, knowing the information reported to be false, he or she, 1. Makes a false report of an alleged occurrence, catastrophe, or emergency under circumstances likely to cause public alarm or inconvenience. 2. Reports an alleged occurrence of a catastrophe or emergency which did not in fact occur. 3. Gratuitously reports to law enforcement an alleged occurrence that did not in fact occur, or provides false information relating to an actual offense or incident. Or 4. Falsely reports child abuse. Falsely reporting an incident in the 3rd degree is a Class A misdemeanor under New York law, carrying a potential punishment of up to 1 year in jail or 3 years on probation, plus the possibility of up to a $1,000 fine. Ms. Cooper's behavior highlights an often suspected disparity in both law enforcement and in larger society, and that's the weaponization of racism. From where I sit, it appears that Ms. Cooper not only called the police to aid her unnecessarily, but she tried to prime them to be ready with violence. Amy Cooper put Christian Cooper's life in danger because she didn't like being called out for breaking the leash law. Now, let's not overlook the larger problem of police responding inappropriately, often overreacting based on a stretched interpretation of a 911 call or anonymous report. But Ms. Cooper knew there was a good chance that police would favor her report over Mr. Cooper's because of the color of his skin. After the incident, Amy Cooper released an apology through a public relations service saying she, quote, reacted emotionally, made false assumptions about his intentions. She added, "He had every right to request that I leash my dog in an area where it was required." Christian Cooper said that he accepts Amy's apology, but believes the incident is part of a much deeper problem of racism in America. "I do accept her apology," he says. "I think she's got to do some reflection on what happened because up until the moment when she made that statement, it was just a conflict between a birder and a dog walker, and then she took it to a very dark place. I think she's got to sort of examine why and how that happened." Mr. Cooper, in a stunning show of consistency, has refused to pile on, pledging not to cooperate with the new criminal charge against Amy Cooper. Quote, "On one hand, she's already paid a steep price. That's not enough of a deterrent to others. Bringing her more misery just seems like piling on," Christian Cooper said. "So if the DA feels the need to pursue charges, he should pursue charges, but he can do that without me." While it's true that Mr. Cooper can choose not to talk to the police, it's unlikely that he can avoid the district attorney's subpoena for his testimony under oath. If the prosecutor wants to push the case against Ms. Cooper forward, there is likely very little that Mr. Cooper can do to stop it. Amy Cooper's arrest comes after at least 11 Change.org petitions calling for her to be criminally charged. Ms. Cooper has hired attorney Robert Barnes. Barnes is the attorney who represented Wesley Snipes in his tax fraud case in 2008. Snipes had been part of a movement of taxpayers who incorrectly believed that they could avoid paying taxes by employing, you guessed it, sovereign citizen tactics, such as declaring himself a non-resident alien when, in fact, he is a U.S. citizen by birth. While Attorney Barnes helped Snipes avoid the harshest of the criminal tax avoidance charges, the actor was still convicted of 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file federal income tax returns from 1999 to 2001, leading to a prison sentence of 3 years. The actor tried to offer $850,000 on his $24 million tax bill, but that offer was rejected by the IRS. In Amy Cooper's case, Barnes is confident. When all the facts are known, Amy Cooper will be found not guilty of the single misdemeanor charge she faces, he says. Public shaming, lost employment, denied benefits, and now prison time for a misperceived, momentary, alleged wrongthink, for words said in a 60-second interaction where even the alleged victim calls this reaction way excessive. This criminalized cancel culture is cancerous and precarious, he said. That is why acquitting Amy Cooper is important. In totally, completely unrelated news, San Francisco and California lawmakers have introduced an anti-Amy Cooper Incident Act to help prevent racially exploitative non-emergencies by creating additional criminal penalties for false reports when they are motivated by race. The act is called the Caution Against Racially Exploitative Non-Emergencies Act. Now, I'm not sure if they've noticed, I'm sure it's a complete coincidence, but if you take the first letter of each of those words and then carefully put them together in order, and you spell out a whole new word with the letters you just put together, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but believe it or not, it spells out Karen. Amazing, right? The proposed legislation would create a minimum $1,000 civil penalty for filing a false or exaggerated report based on racial bias. This is in addition to the laws California already has to deal with false reports in the first place. Quote, the current law prohibiting false police reports does not include accountability measures to address discrimination if a person summons law enforcement because they perceive another individual to be a threat due to their race, religion, outward appearance, or inclusion in a protected class. So that should mean any protected class. Calling the police on someone that you label as out of place simply for being black or a person of color in public is just as dangerous as yelling fire in a crowded theater. You are putting someone's well-being at risk by subjecting them to a humiliating, unnecessary, sometimes lethal police interaction, said Cheryl Davis, director of San Francisco's Human Rights Commission. Fining 911 abusers who waste police time and violate fellow citizen civil rights is one way to discourage this abhorrent behavior. Rob Bonta, District 18 Assemblymaker, writes, the intent of the law is not to discourage individuals who are facing real danger or who seek to report a crime in good faith from calling 911. Instead, this bill could protect millions of Californians from becoming targets of hate and prevent the weaponization of our law enforcement against communities of color. Racist and discriminatory 911 calls are dangerous, demeaning, and demoralizing to the person falsely accused. They further deteriorate community-police relations and contribute to the inaccurate and harmful over-criminalization of black and brown communities. If you are afraid of a black family barbecuing in a community park, a man dancing, and doing his normal exercise routine in the bike lane, or someone who asks you to comply with dog leash laws in a park, and your immediate response is to call the police, the real problem is with your own personal prejudice. I find that really interesting. Both Coopers want the incident between them to be over, but lawmakers instead want an end to incidents like this in general, and so the prohibition will potentially live on through the enactment of legislation. Legislation appropriately bearing the name Karen. Was it the right decision to charge Amy Cooper? Are you the forgiving kind, like Christian Cooper, who feels that the charges are going a step too far? Hasn't Amy's life already been affected enough? Is there a point where the consequences should end? And what do you think about the Anti-CAREN Act? True, it's not really an anti-let-me-speak-to-your-manager law, but it does address the Amy Cooper incident, which arguably was a Karen-type incident. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And that's our show, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm Leonard French, your favorite newlywed copyright attorney. This is Lawful Masses, your favorite legal news and education YouTube channel. This is a community-supported effort, meaning we need your financial support on a monthly basis to keep this effort going and keep lawful masses growing. Thank you for your support on patreon.com/ljfrench and sponsors.com/law. Special thanks in the month of July to BU1 Simmons. And thank you to the $50 plus supporters: Nicely Done Defense, Joe Tyson, West Delj, Citizen of the Sovereign, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Kyle Mudrak, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, Michael Pearce, Daniel Perez, Blackleaf, Benjamin Hitov, Steven, Cute Grills in Your Area, Strawberry Puptart, Longreach Jones, Definitely Not Prenda Law, Ugly Grill, Shielo T, Gregory Conklin, Josh Baker, Rudolph Bescherer Jr., Oscar the Phrophet, Jay Dixon, HotGrillsInYourArea, Ameknight, and Brandyn Abel. And thank you to the $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the LED panel behind me. You'll all be in the description of the videos that drop. I will see you there. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Bye.